Okay, so let's get started. We're going to be taking a look at working with our telemetry and our time plot within our Motec M1 software. Now, the telemetry is going to refer to our live stream data coming from our Motec M1 communicating through our software here. So this is essentially taking a look at all the various input, output channels, any of our data that we can take a look at and work with. So that's going to be what Motec refers to as telemetry. What we're specifically going to take a look at in terms of telemetry is our time plot window. We can find that right here. This graphically plots the data that we can see in our normal channel format, but just plots it in this graphical style environment. This is going to be really important to spot trends in the data, as you'll find as we go throughout the training course. Now, working within the time plot, there's some keystrokes and some various features and functions that I want to highlight in this tutorial so we understand when we're trying to reference this plotted data, we can do that in the most efficient way possible. So the very first thing I want to talk about here is two keystrokes that you should get familiar with, and that's going to be an F5 and F6 keystroke. Now, F6 simply is going to take our time plot that's shrunk down to fit my window here and expand it out to the full window so we can see the data plotted in there much better. Let me go and demonstrate that real quick. So I'm going to click on my time plot window and go here and do F6, and now we can see that same time plot has been opened up to the entire screen so I can see that data much better. Let me go ahead and shrink that simply by clicking F6 again. It'll bring it back down to the normal size. That's fitted into our page layout here, and this is going to be that supplied workbook that I've gave in the training course folder. We've already went through that and talked about it already. So this window here is going to be something that you'll find within the fuel tuning tab. Now, the channels that I put within the time plot window are going to be things that make sense for the specific tuning task we're going to find for this particular page layout. Folks, we can find up here we have fuel tuning. So things that are related to fuel tuning are both our volumetric efficiency table, our lambda table. So these two are going to be where we do the majority of our fuel tuning. Things that we need to take a look at in terms of trying to calibrate our volumetric efficiency table or our target lambda table are found over here in our channels list. We can see there's quite a few fuel related channels here that we want to look at any given time. Now, what I have in the time plot window is very specific, and they'll find a lot of the redundancy in terms of the core channels that we place onto the screen here. We're going to find we have our engine speed, we have our inlet manifold pressure, engine load, throttle position, exhaust lambda, and fuel closed loop lambda aim. Now, the core channels that I usually always have within all of the windows are at least engine speed, but you'll find other channels that are also going to be probably broadcasted in other time plots are inlet manifold pressure and throttle position. We might have engine load and exhaust lambda and fuel closed loop lambda aim in other windows, but these specific time plot channels all relate to and make sense for doing the fuel tuning. Now, we can alter and edit anything within our windows here. We can simply click F5, that gives us access to the time plot. Let me demonstrate that real quick. So if we click F5 as we're clicking onto the time plot, this allows you to populate the properties or the channels that are displayed onto the window. You can remove channels, you can add additional channels to our time plot. You can also go in and change the way that the scaling mode is going to display here within the window. We'll get into this in 1 second. So what I want to do here is jump into the engine speed option. That's our very first channel right here. We're going to go into the edit option, and under edit, we're able to change things the way it's going to display within the time plot found in this page. So looking at this, we can see here the engine speed is in the blue color. We can change that from blue to another color if we'd like. So let's go here and select this pink color. If I click OK, and we can see it's going to apply that change, and now that engine speed channel is in pink. That's not really a big deal, but that is something that you might want to change in terms of your color. You usually want to have a unique color for your various channels. Let's go back in here to edit, and let me go ahead and change that back to, let's say, an orange color, because that was something that was unique for this plotting in our graphical plot. Let's go back in here to edit and take a look at a few additional options. The decimal places, this is going to correspond to how many decimal places we would have for the displayed data within the time plot. So in this case, 866.3, the 0.3 designates, and that's RPM, designates the decimal places. If we go here, we could go to 2 decimal places, we could go to 0. So 0 would be fine for engine speed. I don't really need to have it to the next decimal place.
Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here, and you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.